Right. Let's talk about engineering, which is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Applying engineering principles into your life makes things that much easier. Sometimes you have to put down your emotions and think with logic and numbers. You can't always do that because you're not a robot, you're a human being. But when it comes to building your base, it is crucial that you look at the numbers. What I talked about in the previous chapter, which is building a good basis, building a good idea, 20% of that brainstorming and 80% of that actually doing the work and hustling. But in order for you to complete the 80%, you need the 20% base. So to start with, I'm going to teach you two very simple engineering principles. And out of those principles, hopefully you'll be able to understand and apply that to your life. As you can see here, the first principle that I'm going to teach you, which you already know, you already have heard of, and if you are an engineer of some sort, you have learned this before. But I'm just going to remind you again. Every action that you put has an equal and opposite reaction in turn. For example, you put in 1 hour of work building a craft, designing your website, learning a skill, coding, photography, video editing, communications, whatever skill you want to learn that is necessary to build your future. You put in 1 hour, and you shall get by the end of that day 1 hour utilized that you can add to your bank of time in that skill. You underestimate you underestimate how much time you need to master a skill. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a fun fact. 20 hours is all you need to become more than proficient in a skill that you learn. If you want to become better at soccer, give yourself 20 hours in that skill. You can dissect that into 30 minutes a day, in 40 days or 20 days. You can finish that by doing 1 hour a day. If you do 1 hour of practice of soccer every day for 20 days, you shall be better than half the population that plays soccer. Same thing with going to the gym. Same thing with practicing skill, editing, communications. You may call it whatever you want to call it. So once you understand this concept, you have to apply it to your life. Oh, I want to lose 40 pounds. Dude, go to the gym 1 hour a day. As a matter of fact, don't do that. Give yourself 45 minutes a day, which barely makes up 3% of your day. If you put 45 minutes a day of going to the gym every day, you are utilizing 3% of your entire 24 hours. Do that over a number of days, and not even a month, dude. Not even a month. 20 to 25 days is where you start building a habit, is where you start going from a normal skill that you go in to building a habit. So you may call it. The more hours you put in, the more you're going to build up your bank account. Just treat time as a bank. 1 hour, 1 hour in, and 1 hour utilized by the end of the day, you put it in your bank. The next day, you put 2 hours in the bank, 3 hours in the bank, so far and so on. Really important to understand this. The other principle that I need you to understand is this guy. You've already also seen this, but let me reiterate. Inertia, by definition, in my own words, inertia is the amount of energy it takes for you to move something. Inertia, I will say it in my own words, is the definition of something to stay consistent. If something is stable, inertia is the energy for it to keep it stable. Inertia If something is moving, it is the energy for it to keep it moving. So I want to start losing weight. I can start by putting an hour every day, an hour, an hour, an hour, an hour, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. You can take a look. Let's say you put in 1 hour of working out. The next day you put another hour. Now you have 2 hours, 3 hours, four, five, and you so on, so far, and so on. Once you start this snowball effect, what you realize is that not only you're just putting +1 in your bank of time, you're adding them up. And then what you will notice, this is very exciting and it's very simple. The more hours you put in, the more the effect takes place. So just because at day 1 you put an hour and then at day 20 you put an hour, these are not the same hours, even though they are the same amount of time spent. But the hour that you put in the hour 1 is going to have a way different effect than the hour that you put on the 20th day. What you notice is that the more you keep going, the more it spirals, the more you're going to have momentum by the end of it. And you reach day 20, day 21, day 30, day 60. You become unstoppable because you have built all these hours and you kept building on this bank account that it's almost going to be really hard for you to stop doing your craft. So you have to understand that the more you do something, the easier it gets. And not because it actually gets easier, because you get stronger. You become more strong willed for you not to stop because you start enjoying it. You start learning from it. You start utilizing it in your life. You start seeing a change in your body. So, this concept is extremely important for you to apply in all aspects of your life. So, hopefully, that helped.